8 or 900 billion, depending on what price it is. It could be up
Could
10%
be
in the course
anywhere
of,
right now.
yeah, but so whatever it is, it's over 800 billion most likely. And so that's a lot of assets. A lot of that's owned by Americans. And so they're somewhat in a corner there for outright banning it, whereas some of these other countries that are more desperate have an easier a time at least trying it. Generally speaking, though, it doesn't work very well because it still trades in the black market anyway. And so, for example, some of these countries ban dollars, or they have a quote unquote official exchange rate for the dollar, but then the real exchange rate is in the black market, where you have, okay, here's actually what, if two people are kind of trading dollars for something else, that's actually what the exchange rate is going to be. So there's that. And then two, they also kind of fall behind in innovation, right? So we have all these other, the largest bank in Singapore is also doing custody now. And so if you have these countries say, okay, we're just going to ban our citizens from owning it, and we're just going to kind of close ourselves off, it's like, good luck, because you're going against kind of in some ways a currency that's designed to operate well in the black market if it has to, while other countries are embracing it legally. And then, so we saw, for example, India tried to ban it a while ago, and then their Supreme Court kind of overruled that. And so this will be their second attempt that they're trying now. It might be more successful, it might not be. And so I do think that watching the regulatory front is important, but especially in these kind of well-capitalized markets, it's somewhat less of a risk. It's also, if you look at where money's stored, people already store their money outside of the banking system. They store it in real estate, they store it in equities, they store it in gold, they store it in all these different things. And Bitcoin is just one other thing that they can store it in. And so ironically, by trying to ban it, they're basically arguing that it's better than all of those. They're saying that's the one that we're afraid of, because it's a mobile store of value that, so it's funny because you see these narratives of people saying, oh, it's a bubble, it won't amount to anything. On the other hand, sometimes the same people are saying, oh, governments are going to ban it, it's too powerful. And it's, well, which one is it? Is it either, if it's a bubble, it'll just, if it's bad technology, it'll work itself out eventually, or if it's an actual threat, it's it's particularly challenging one to stop, because you can ban people from owning it, but you can't actually shut the system down.
What they
And
can do, I think, is change the tax regime on it, right? And they could
Yeah.
recharacterize it as a currency, and then cause people to have to pay tax on it, tax on gains every year, and liquidate, other assets in order to pay those taxes, which would be an interesting shift in dynamics, I think, and create some
Yeah,
supply.
yeah, in some ways, kind of gold's been under that similar regime where gold's taxed like a collectible, and so in some ways it doesn't have the same tax treatment as a commodity. And so yeah, you could have these kind of Bitcoin specific or crypto specific taxes that make it. It's like, okay, you can still own it. We're not going to get so draconian that we're going to ban bits, but we're going to just make it owners to hold. And in some ways, the fact that it's taxed like a commodity, it's tricky because a lot of these payment systems want to use Bitcoin, but then technically you're exposed to capital gains or losses on these transactions. And so basically there is a lot of work to do for these regulators to kind of how they want to kind of open that up in the tax code, either to make it easier for innovation or to clamp down on it if they want to make it less attractive.